Okay, thank you. Make sure you get my good side.
Is it already recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're Ripley, Oliver, went over there. Yeah, so the way he's, could you flip the light up? So one, this muzzle, I'm gonna come around here. Is not fitted correctly. You see? Now it's fitted over the top of the there.
Yeah.
So so you see his eyes. See how his eyes are really wide?
Yeah.
Right? See how he's backing away now?
Mm-hmm.
But that bark, I can't do it because my voice, woo, 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 right? That's the insecure bark. So when I was over there in the front and he was barking, and I told you can hear the insecurity, right? So that's just something. So then what I want to see is if I move back, does he move forward? Okay, because this is a typical fear response. So he's just staying tucked back, right? So here, if I have a fearful, aggressive dog, they're gonna charge back and forth between the kennel, and he's kind of just holding still. He doesn't want anything to do with me. He doesn't want any kind of conflict. Okay. So when I go to make contact here, this allows me to see, is he going to get more defensive? So he has a moment where he gets a little bit more mouthy, but then he just kind of sits there like, what's going on? Okay? So when I move in, we're putting the dog under pressure. When I move out, we're removing pressure. What happens is stress or tension builds, right? So when I approach the first time, he gets stressed. And then he's like, I don't know what to do. And I back off. And then if he goes to a 5, he goes down to a 3, but he's still escalated. And I come back in again, that 3 now goes to a 7. I back off, he goes down to a 5. I come in again, 5 now goes to 8 or 9, right? So when I'm playing this pressure game, I'm trying to see, where do you cap? Do you cap at 5? Do you cap at 7? Are you going to escalate to the point of where you're going to become defensive and become more aggressive, right? And we may not see anything. When I go here, he's still staying at the degree of about 4 to 5, whereas earlier he jumped for a split second to like 6, 7, right? So that's what I'm watching for. So a lot of this is just trust issues. Quiet. Go give me another slip lead.
Do you want me to close this door?
You could just toss the leash. Thank you. All right, so you see a lot of stress. I need an appropriately fitted leash here. There we go. I'm gonna walk to the big area. All right, so you get a dog like this. Cut it. When you get a dog like this, the way your approach is a lot. Okay. So here, I'm looking for signs of tension. Some resistance is normal. But see how now he's like moving easily with me? Because he's afraid of the contact. He's afraid that, there's trust issues, maybe I'll hurt him, things like that. So when I come in, most people want to coo with the dog to calm them down, and that doesn't do anything. That just reinforces the fear, because we tend to lower our energy to be more consoling. And consoling energy is weak energy in their world. So I come in indifferent. Excuse me. I come in indifferent. I test a few things to see, do I have to worry about this dog attacking me? I wasn't worried about that. I was concerned about the muzzle because it's not fitted appropriately, so I'm not touching intentionally in the head area. And this resistance here is the brain going back into what we saw in the kennel, which is fear response. So if he starts to put tension backwards, we tend to stop because we don't want to stress the dog out. But if you keep doing that, the dog will keep reinforcing the fear. So I just keep pulling, increasing that pressure, and as long as we're next to each other, I know we're good. What I'm doing here is panting. Where he was. Is I'm building trust, because that's the issue. So he's going, Jesse, I'm scared, don't hurt me. And I come in very indifferent. I go, I'm not here to hurt you. I need to get you out that kennel. And I take my time. I don't try to rush it. I waited to get my tool or my slip leash. My slip leash adjusted appropriately so that, there we go. I could pull him out. And then as precaution, I closed the gate once I felt I had it around his head so I could put tension on him. Because I knew when I put tension on him, he was going to buck back, and that's when he knocked the water pail. So I get him over that initial, panic in the kennel. And then once that's over, once I pull him out, you really shouldn't see anything because he's over the hump. Here, the heavy breathing is panting. He's venting stress because of everything that just happened right now. He didn't like it. He didn't want to be pressed, and also he thought something bad was going to happen. So me just walking around and being relaxed and putting these rules of you're going to walk with me, you're not going to put tension on me, and I got to listen to the direction I give you, is what builds trust. We tend to want to build trust using food, treats, happy-go-lucky energy. All of that makes the brain active. All of that makes the brain very excited. And then that excitement very easily transitions back to reactivity or fear response. Because excitement is instability. So when I get dogs that have reactivity issues, fear issues, anxiety issues, things like that, and people get them excited, it's like a switch. They get too overwhelmed with the excitement. Next thing you know, you got a reactive dog or a dog that's highly anxious or what have you. And then the behaviors that we don't want to see come out. So here, I don't care about that. I just want to calm him down and let him know I can give him direction, appropriate direction, because he doesn't like when I put him under pressure, but pressure is a part of life. So then as I start to work him through it, I'll start to regain his trust. Good, that was easier. And he tends to keep locking up in that spot, so it might be because of the dogs. Shh, cut it out. Good. So, I'm not worried about hitting him. I'm not worried about touching him. Simply just walk in and having a conversation. Conversation is, you follow my lead, you follow my direction, don't lock up. Good. That rubbing is so he can remove the muzzle. He doesn't like me too much quite yet. Good. So when we see that initial response, people tend to, just say your dog's aggressive. And they may recognize the fear, but they don't know how to work around it. And it's just building relationship, building trust. Good. This is where, again, with how I stress the slip leash, if you watch like Caesar Milan and stuff, good. That's all he does. He just comes up the leash like this, right? So if you know how to use this tool, you can work with a very large percentage of dogs. The e-collar, I use because it makes it easier for the owner. It's not the fact that I need it. Mm-hmm. But I'm not I'm coming from 10 years of working with dogs and probably now in the thousands, whereas your average dog only works with, 4 to 8 dogs in a lifetime, Mm-hmm. So. Good. There's a little bit of a sniff there, guys. This is also how I start the pack walk. I'll get one dog, bring out another dog, let's say it's this guy. And then I integrate the next dog, so let's say if I want to bring him, I have Lex and Poncho, I bring out Cheerio, he's on my right side, and I go for a walk together, and I keep them opposite, because I just care about coexistence. Like, that's what we're doing right now. It's just coexistence with each other. Questions? So, it's all about approach. I came sideways, like I turned, and once I was ready to get him out instead of forward, and I had to turn forward at the end, but I was trying to alleviate how much confrontation pressure I was putting on him. Mm-hmm. So next thing would be the head area, So I'm going to test that right now because that over the head approach he may not like. So you see, he doesn't want to give me his back now. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like what we saw with what was the dog? The nervous one.
Kavu?
No, not Kavu. Mm-hmm. What was the dog that she flipped?
Oh, Harley, the husky?
Yeah, right. It's the same thing, except he's gonna have cut it out, a heightened response, because he's still tense. That's all I'm going to ask. So here, we want end result now, right? We want end result with no hiccups. That's not how it works, right? So here, I did the first one, right? I didn't react. I didn't go, no shit, right? I just did my thing, move them away just in case, moved around a bit, reset, come back, try it again. And I was expecting at least 2 to 3 more of those, right? We may get them later on. But his stress, he's just figuring me out right now. Like, can I trust you? Can I not trust you? Right? This is why the day one is so important. Because so far we've been lucky with a lot of dogs. We either already trained them or they were easier to work with dogs, right? This is this is more realistic, right? This is like what I used to see at the humane shelters when I used to volunteer. So then I learned how can I approach or how can I interact or how can I enter or how can I use this leash so that I can work through these things, because I could tell that the dog didn't want to hurt anybody. The dog was scared of being hurt themselves, right? So here, my non-reaction to his reaction is what builds trust. Because he goes, oh, like you can understand that I'm panicked, you can understand that I'm scared and that I'm stressed. And when I'm putting that pressure on him, it's very subtle, right? It makes him uncomfortable. He responds, no big deal. We try it again. I keep just attempting, right? Because he's not, if he would have turned and ran or came towards me, it's very different. Whereas he turned and I kind of jumped back, right? So it's kind of like, yo, watch it with my personal space. So how he approaches the response affects how I would approach it, right? So if he was more forward, then I would start thinking, well, we're gonna need either a prong or a remote collar, we're gonna need to do a bit more work. But when I see that away approach, I go, okay, you really don't want conflict, right? You really don't want conflict, you just want security. And me working with him and pushing him past these comfort zones is what creates security. But that's why I'm very subtle with my pressure. So increasing pressure, and then once he complies, it goes away. Increasing pressure, he complies, it goes away, right? So then if he were to listen to this much pressure, it would immediately stop. It would be very subtle, right? So then I can control him with very delicate touch as opposed to having to try to overpower. People's instinct is typically overpower, and that creates more issues. This is why with like when cops are use excessive force on people, you see people panic and they want to fight back more, right? It's the same exact stuff, except we're dealing with the dog, and dogs bite. It makes it a bit trickier. Humans can bite too, but
Yeah. Would there be any kennel exercises?
with this,
Yeah.
we would have to do entry and re-entry, or entry and exit, and just kind of keep doing that. But it's really what we have to do is press the getting the dog, right? So putting him in there for 30 minutes, getting him, repeating. Putting him for 30 minutes, getting him, repeating. Like it would have to be that, because it's once he's in the kennel, he relaxes, and then he gets comfortable with those insecurities. They're gonna come back. He's gonna reset, right? So that's gonna take time. So it's either we make it a point to do this every 30 minutes, every 15 minutes, right? To get him over it faster, or it's just, I know the approach, I can get him. And over, the course of the next 2 days when he's here, or, they bring him to board for 2 weeks, and him just learning us and trusting us, we'll fix that, okay? Or at least with us, because it's just trust stuff, okay? Questions?
Not right now.
All right, so we can go and shut that off.